In this video we go from an old thumbnail sketch to a finished painting. The thumbnail is an old one from 2020, so last year. I don't remember exactly from when it was. I don't have any footage of the making of this thumbnail. If you want to know how I make these thumbnails, I did a video on it last week. You can check the video. There's a link in the top right corner now. So if you want to know how I make these things, you can click that link and check that video out. I have a lot of these very rough sketches, thumbnails. And I have quite a lot of trouble sort of finishing my paintings. I really wanted to try to finish this one. My brain's always tends to hop to the next idea or the next thing that I want to learn or do. Usually I end up making new paintings instead of finishing the ones that I'm working on, and I wanted to change that bad habit. Really try to finish this one to bring it up to a decent finished level. So I spent quite a lot of time on this one. Oh, well, for me anyway. Usually it's like 1 hour and then I'm like, let's go for a new one. Let's make a new painting. But I really forced myself to work on this one. In the end, I probably could have worked a little bit longer on it, but I was like, yeah, I need to make that video today, so you know what, it's okay for now. But hopefully I will get better at this in the future. So if you have this problem as well, please let me know in the comments, and if you have any solution to it, please let me know as well, because it's kind of driving me crazy. I want to render these images better, get better paintings, because I'm starting to get quite good at the initial phase. I think blocking in shapes and a little bit of composition and stuff like that. But in the end, yeah, it kind of falls flat on the face because I make it to a sort of 70 or 80% finish, and the last bit, the really important bit that makes it a finished painting, just keeps hanging sort of there in the middle. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this painting. This thumbnail was made last year, as I said before, and I was like, you know what? Instead of making new ideas, let's try to grab some of the old thumbnails that I have and see if I can do something with it. So if you're interested in this, I may do a little bit more of these, maybe on a video or on live streams. I live stream as well. I live streamed yesterday. If you want to follow along with the live stream, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get a notification when I go live, and then we can sort of paint together. We had a great session yesterday in which I tried to paint people for the first time, as in heads of people and stuff like that, because I'm really bad at it and really scared of it as well. But it was like, you know what, I gotta do this. I gotta sort of figure out how to draw people. And we had a fun little session, 2 hours or something, and I kind of got the idea down. I still have a lot of practice to do, of course, but at least I got somewhere, and I feel like I can do a lot more of that in the future. So that's definitely something we will do on the live stream as well. But these things as well, I streamed a bit of this live as well yesterday. So if you're interested in that, yeah, make sure to hop along and follow the live stream. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about the painting. It's sort of a wide angle shot of this structure on this rock. At first I just had the rock and I was like, yeah, it kind of needs some architecture, and I drew in some architecture, as you saw a couple of minutes ago. It's like it didn't really feel right, so in the end I ended up destroying it. I liked the extra bit for the composition, so I was like, maybe I will make it a rock. But in the end I decided, yeah, it needs a little bit of architecture, because I don't know, it just brings a painting to life if there are some human-made structures there. And from now on it's just mainly detailing, and this is the phase I'm really bad at, or I skip entirely. Usually when the painting is at this sort of level of finish, I'm like, yeah, it's done. Let's keep it like this, and gonna make a video out of it if it's for a video, or I'm just gonna publish it, or it's just gonna sit on my computer and I'm never looking at it. Now I was like, we need to work on it at least the same amount of time that I worked on it, and it still needed that work. And I think it turned out a lot better in the end, because I put in the extra work, some more atmospheric fog. In the end, I decided to change the color palette a little bit. I I ended up with a much cooler color palette. The sort of orange pinkish sea on the right side of the image is gone in the end. I also cropped the image because it's a very wide shot now, and there is a lot of information in the shot. I was like, yeah, it doesn't really add that much to the painting. So I decided to get rid of a quite a big part of the painting. You will see that in due time. And here I started to work a little bit more on those tiny details, little ropes dangling and hanging, and sort of breaking up that roof of the dome. Because the roof is quite boring in on itself, so I decided to sort of divide it up in smaller panels to give it a little bit more interesting things to look at. You see me working on the stream towards the sea. It's kind of this waterfall that just flows from the right to the left, and it plunges down at the bottom left, almost in the corner there. I hopefully I did that right, and it shows like it's plunging down into the depth, and then it streams a little bit further, and then it meets the sea quite soon. So I decided to add more atmosphere to the waterfall, little splashes of water. I experimented with foliage with different types of brushes, added a couple of birds because that's always nice. And this is sort of like, yeah, is it done? Is it not done? I looked at it for a bit, and decided no, we gotta work a little bit longer on it. And I think I'm gonna crop it quite soon now, probably. So the bit you see me working on the left there, that's gonna get cut away. Here you can see that the quality is a little bit lower because I didn't record this bit. This is just from I live streamed this bit and then I downloaded a live stream, but it's at 720p, so it's a little bit lower quality than usual quality of the footage. But we go to higher quality again soon. Anyway, is there much more that I can talk about? Not really. It's just a little bit of a rambling video, like I used to do back in the day, and I kind of like it. I like the scripted videos as well, but now I was like, do I write a script? Do I just ramble? I feel like if I write a script, I need to edit the video a lot nicer and add nice stuff to it. And now I was like, you know what? I just want to show people this painting process and ramble over the painting. So that's what I am doing now. I hope you don't mind it. Yeah, it's the most part, the biggest part of the video is just detailing. Here you see me adding a lot of blue over that sea and getting rid of a lot of it and putting some more atmospheric fog. Just keep checking that layer, turning it on and off. And in the end, I decided to keep it like this, to keep it this blue. It's a lot colder, the colors, but in the end, I think it's okay. So adding a lot of fog from the waterfall. Here you see me doing the crop, going back and forth, and I was like, yeah, the left side doesn't add that much to the painting, so let's get rid of it. In hindsight, maybe I should have kept it. I don't know. In the end, it's a decent looking painting, so I'm quite happy with it. And yeah, it's a lot of detailing, which takes up a lot of time. It's not necessarily very difficult. It's just it takes up a lot of time. And most of the time, I'd say 20% of the work is 80% of your painting done, and then like 80% work for the last 20%, which is mostly detailing. So yeah, just more detailing, adding some stuff to the buildings, little wooden beams, little pillars, stuff like that. Yeah, it's actually quite relaxing to do. It doesn't really require that much thinking work. Here you see me increasing the contrast. Well, I increased the contrast quite a bit, and I think the painting is better for it. In the end, I do some saturation correction to give it a little bit of higher saturation. Maybe I overdid it a little bit, but it was quite desaturated. So it's like, you know what, let's increase the saturation. Anyway, this is actually the end of the video, the end of the painting. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit of a rambling one, this one, but I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next one. Bye.